lesson plan, our lesson today is going to be for oxy-fuel and lighting the torch. So the biggest thing that we have to concern ourselves with is safety. We're going to make sure that our bottles are secured. We're going to identify some safety devices found on our bottles, on our valves, and on our bottles. I'm going to show you how to open up the valves correctly, how to set the correct pressures, how to establish a neutral flame to be able to do the cutting. Then we're going to be shutting down the torch, shutting off the valves, bleed the lines, and back out our adjusting screws. So this is a typical oxy-fuel setup that we do every day. Every day we shut the torches down and we start to back up when we want to cut. So we're going to go over here to the torch. First thing we want to make sure for safety is that our bottles are secure. Make sure the safety chains are in place. Make sure there's no way they can fall over before we open up any valves on any bottles. We're going to start by opening up the oxygen bottle. We want to make sure that our valves are off before we do so. We want to start off by turning this valve very slowly. The oxygen valve then will open up all the way. This is the adjusting screw on the regulator. We'll adjust this 30 pounds PSI. Next we will open up the acetylene. Make sure our adjusting screw is out completely. This will open up 1/2 to 1 full turn. Set the pressures at 10 pounds PSI. Okay. A few safety devices that are built into the oxygen bottle and to the acetylene bottle. On the oxygen bottle, there's a bursting disc right here on the right-hand side. On acetylene bottle, there's fusible plugs. They're at the top and underneath. Both these are safety devices in case any kind of accident would happen with any one of these bottles. If high pressure gets too high in the oxygen bottle, the bursting disc will separate, the pressure will come out of the bottle. If there's a fire with the acetylene, the reason why the fusible plugs are there, at a certain temperature they will start melting before the pressures build up in the acetylene bottle. It will burn off slowly and not blow the bottle up. The reason why we turn the acetylene on 1/2 to 1 full turn only is in case there is an accident or a fire, we can shut down this acetylene bottle very quickly. Two other safety devices on these bottles is flashback arresters. Flashback arrestor on the oxygen, flashback arrestor on the acetylene. These must be installed before we use the equipment. Flashback arrestor acts as a fire suppressor kind of. If there's a fire to come up into this line before we go into the regulator, the flashback arrestor will put the fire out. Very important devices on some jobs. They may have you required to have flashback arrestors at each end of the hose, just for extra safety. Now we're going to light the torch. 30 pounds of pressure on our oxygen, 10 pounds of pressure on our acetylene. What we're going to try to establish here is a neutral flame. We first open up the acetylene, use a spark lighter, adjust the flame so there's no smoke, have a little feather, and it's still touching the tip, but not away from the tip. This is too much acetylene. This is the correct amount of acetylene. We then open up our oxygen valve, our torch, bring the inner cone down to the bottom cone flame. We have a neutral flame. This is a carburizing flame, and this is too much oxidizing flame. So we want to make sure that it goes in that area right there. This is a neutral flame for cutting. Now to shut the torch down after we do our cutting, we just repeat the process. First shut off the acetylene, then we shut off the oxygen. The flame has been extinguished. We are now going to shut down our oxyacetylene bottles. First start with the acetylene. Close the valve completely. Open up acetylene valve on the torch. Bleed the line. Once the line has been bled, take the adjusting screw and back it out all the way. Close the valve on the torch. Repeat the process on the oxygen bottle. Shut the bottle completely off. Open up the valve on the torch and bleed the lines. Close the valve. Back out the adjustment screw. It is key that when you start up the oxyacetylene, that the adjustment screws are backed out, and then when you are complete, you want to make sure you back the adjustment screws out as well. So when the next person comes up, when he opens up the valve, there's no pressure going to the regulators. So that wraps up our lesson today on starting up the oxy fuel system. Cutting, key safety things to remember. Make sure the cart is secure. Make sure flashback arresters have been installed. Make sure the adjusting screws are backed out all the way before you open up the valves. The valve on the oxygen cylinder gets turned completely open. Open up slowly. Stay off to the side in case the regulator would happen to blow apart. It doesn't come into your body. Stand off to the side. Oxygen all the way open. Acetylene, a half to 1 full turn. That's the key to getting the bottles opened up correctly. Then when we're shutting down, make sure you bleed the lines and back out the adjusting screws so there's no pressure from the next person who comes in and opens up the valves. That's today's end of the session today for oxy fuel cutting. Thank you.